Hello, it is Michael Linson of Smart Classroom Management. In today's video, we're going to talk about why you should never, ever be friends with students. This is an important topic because it's really, really common, especially in this day and age since COVID, and especially with younger teachers. And the reason why it's common since COVID is because misbehavior has dropped so severely, and there's so much of this kind of toxic empathy where teachers are afraid to hold students accountable. And so they think, well, if I'm just really close to my students, if I'm friends with them, I can influence their behavior. But this doesn't work. In fact, it makes things even worse, and we're going to talk about that. But before we get there, if you're new to Smart Classroom Management, please subscribe. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below. Even if you disagree, I like the conversation. I think it's a good thing. I think it's a really healthy thing to have. This is a new channel, so I do appreciate your support. We are not new, though. Smart Classroom Management has been around since 2009. If you want to check out our resources, there at smartclassroommanagement.com. We have over 800 articles on every classroom management topic you can imagine. We also have 8 books and some e-guides, some classroom management plans that you can check out there. But let's hit the video here. By the way, someone was trying to give me advice saying, oh, you say a lot in your videos, and I can show you how to improve your performance. And we can do some jump cuts, and we can cut things out so you're not using all those hums and things. And it's important to me that I'm authentic, that we're authentic here at Smart Classroom Management. So that's not going to happen. You're not going to see any jump cuts, and I'm not going to cut any videos. This is one take because I want you to get the truth, and I also want to, like I said, I want to be authentic, and I think that that's the best way to do that is to give myself one take. So here we go. The big reason why you don't want to be friends with your students or give off that friend energy is that you will lose respect. You'll lose respect really fast, and this can come about the first or second day of school. If you're giving off that energy, they won't see you as the leader of the classroom. It's always been important, but now more than ever, you have to be the kind of person that students trust and look up to. That is far, far more effective than trying to get to know students and connect with them one-on-one, which is really common advice, is to build relationships one-on-one with students. And although creating and having influential relationships with students is important and a topic for another day, it's something that we really focus on at Smart Classroom Management. The way to do it isn't with one-on-one students, and it's not with trying to be friends with them or trying to be cool or to use slang or any of those kinds of things. All that stuff will backfire on you. And the big reason is a lack of respect. And what that leads to is testing. They're really going to test you as soon as they get this vibe. You're going to be tested, and not the normal testing. In the beginning of the school year, after you teach your classroom management plan, it's common to be tested on really minor things, like a student will call out in class or turn and talk to a student next to them. And they'll do this to see if you're going to be consistent, if you're going to do what you say you're going to do and follow through with your classroom management plan and follow through on the consequences you promise to enforce if they break a classroom rule. It's not that kind of testing. This kind of testing is a brazen testing, a brazen sort of disrespect where students will get up and walk around the room. They'll get up and talk to other students while you're trying to teach the class. It's almost absurd. Some students will walk out of the room. If you're in this place, or if this has ever happened to you, you're in real trouble. And this is the reason why, is because they're getting this vibe from you. I wrote this in black because this is a teacher behavior. Is what comes with this, with being tested like this, is a fear of then holding them accountable. There's great resistance. If you're trying to base your influence on this kind of friendship relationships, you'll develop a great fear of holding them accountable. And because friends don't do that. And there's a reason to fear, because when you do hold them accountable, your students are going to take that very personally. They're going to be angry at you rather than reflecting on their misbehavior, because friends don't do that. And they're going to take it personally when you hold them accountable. But this taking things personally isn't just for students. It's not just students who do this. Teachers do it as well. So if you're taking misbehavior personally, or it really gets under your skin when students misbehave, or it really disappoints you and it really stresses you out, it's something you think about after school, this is the big reason why, is because you are trying to influence your students through this sort of friendship. Now, you may not in your head be thinking, I'm trying to be friends with students, but essentially that's what you're doing if you're trying to influence them through your personal relationships, through trying to be something you're not, being inauthentic, or trying to be a certain way to somehow influence their behavior and the things you say and the way you say them. These things are what cause you to really take misbehavior personally and have great resistance over trying to enforce misbehavior. It all adds up to more misbehavior. Obviously, misbehavior begets more misbehavior. And so if you have a chaotic day, it's going to continue that way. If you have students getting up and moving around, it's going to continue that way. Teachers usually go in one of two directions when this happens. They either have this incredibly antagonistic relationship with students. They're really stressed out. Students are really stressed out. There is a lot of tension and resentment and battling going on between the teacher and the students. There's a wresting of control of the classroom. All these things can happen as a result. The other thing that teachers do is that they just get weaker and they just give in to everything for fear that they'll be disliked or fear that misbehavior is going to be even worse. And so they'll go the opposite effect. And even it's sad to watch. I visit a lot of classrooms, but to see this sort of obsequious behavior, walking on eggshells around students, it's a result of all of this. The other thing is that the behavior becomes strange, and when teachers try to be cool around students and try to do this kind of thing from the outside, it can look really weird. And it's not kind of a place you want to go in your career. Parents can look at that. You can bring on some complaints or some concerns about what's going on in your classroom, that kind of thing. And so it isn't appropriate. And so what to do about it is certainly a topic we're going to cover in the future. If you're in this position, what to do, how to start over again, and you can, even mid-year. And again, that's something that we're going to talk about in a future video, but you can also go to the Smart Classroom Management website, check out one of our classroom management plans, because that's where you really want to start things over again and just kind of switch your attitude from friendship to a leader that your students will respect and look up to. Okay, I hope that helps. Have a happy Thanksgiving, and I will see you next time.